Hi everyone, this is Dr. Chhoda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I want you to know that you are greatly appreciated. We work hard on the Ignition Time channel to bring you the latest news, the latest information that will help you understand the world around us. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is not just a channel focused on stimulus news and unemployment benefits, because that is one part of what we need to know as responsible citizens. This channel is about matters important to the country, matters that are important to the economy, and by extension, matters that are important to your money. Now, if you've been following my channel, I've covered the Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who's a strong supporter of the president. He's a Republican, and he has had his fair share of controversy. I'm about to show you a clip that took place in the past 24 hours where the Florida governor lashed out at a reporter for asking specific questions, and my interpretation was the Florida governor became immediately defensive. Now, I'm not necessarily saying this is a bad thing, because look, we're all human beings. We all, no one's perfect, right? But for me, the Ignition Time channel is about what officials say and why they say it, what is their underlying motivation, and I present that information to our community. Now, it is obvious to me that the Florida governor seemed rattled and seem to lash out, but I'll let you be the judge. And I want my viewers and subscribers to let me know in the comment section below whether you agree or whether you disagree with the Florida governor's response to the journalist. Now, before I show you the clip, for me it doesn't matter whether the clip came from CNN or Fox or any other news station. What matters is what elected officials say, why they said what they said, and then it's up to you to make your own interpretation. Watch closely as the interviewer, in this case the interviewer is Rosa Flores from Miami. She was talking to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and by the way, it is a fact in Florida that many senior citizens who have been waiting for the vaccines have been waiting for hours. Some of them were actually camped out outside hospitals overnight. And here's what's even more interesting. This is week 4 of the vaccine rollout across the country, week 4 of the vaccine rollout in the state of Florida. And the website where the vaccine rollouts can be scheduled, where you can go to for more information, were crashing. So, by the way, this is not new in the state of Florida. Florida has had many problems with unemployment benefits. And I'll actually show you a clip from the Florida Governor Ron DeSantis about his comments on the unemployment benefit system back from August of last year. So I'll show you that clip towards the end of the video and take a close look at the reaction from the Florida governor and what he says about this complicated vaccine rollout. You'll also see visuals of senior citizens essentially standing in line, camping out overnight to be able to get the vaccine. And this is a subject that's very close at heart for me personally. I have a 75-year-old mother who lives with me and my wife and my children, and I do want her to get the vaccine first. In fact, she said, "Hey, I'll get the vaccine. Just tell me where to go." And we're waiting for more information. So my point is that if you have someone who's elderly in your home, in your family, or if you're elderly yourself, you understand the significance of wanting to get the vaccine. Now, keep in mind, whether you personally want to get the vaccine or not is not the point of this video. But the point of this video is, number one, helping our viewers and subscribers understand that the rollout isn't going as planned. That's point number one. And point number two, examining elected officials, in this case, the Florida governor, Ron DeSantis. By the way, it doesn't matter to me whether the elected official is red or blue. For me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. As I was saying, point number two, trying to examine the behavior, the response of elected officials, and then trying to understand whether it's appropriate, whether it's fair, because I do believe that elected officials need to be held to a higher standard. Yes, they're human like you and me. People make mistakes, people get upset, people lash out, but we do expect a higher standard from elected officials. We don't expect them to be impatient like the rest of us. That would be my interpretation. But I'll let you watch the exchange between Rosa Flores, CNN correspondent from Miami, and the Florida governor, Ron DeSantis. And I want you to tell me what you think in the comment section below. You'll get a link to the entire video also in the description section below. Let's roll the tape and listen to the first segment of this interview between Rosa Flores and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
We're also getting some new information about the vaccination rollout in Florida. For more on that, I want to bring in CNN's Rosa Flores. She's joining us from Miami right now. Rosa, some senior citizens of Florida, they've been waiting in line for hours and hours, even overnight, to get the vaccine. You pressed the governor on this earlier today. Tell us about the exchange you had.
The governor really should have expected this question, because this is week 4 of the vaccine rollout in the state of Florida. And our cameras were rolling last week as seniors were waiting overnight to get the vaccine. On top of all of that, senior citizens across this state have been asked to go to a website to get an appointment to get this vaccine. And that website keeps crashing. It was a very simple question. Why? What has gone wrong? But Governor Ron DeSantis wouldn't even let me finish asking my question. Take a listen. Governor, what has gone wrong with the rollout of the vaccine that we've seen phone lines jammed, websites crashing?
There's a lot of demand. I think at the end of the day, excuse me.
If I could finish my question.
You just said what has gone wrong, so I'm answering the question.
If I could complete the question, though.
So you're going to give a speech, or are you going to ask a question?
With all due respect, Governor,
you asked a question. I'm going to answer it.
I'm trying to finish my question.
No, you're giving a speech. You asked a question.
I am trying to ask you the.
You're going to ask how many questions? You get 3? They only got 1 question. Why do you get 3?
With all due respect, Governor, I'm just asking if I could finish my question.
You didn't. You finished the question.
I did not. My full question is, what went wrong with the rollout of the vaccine when we've seen phone lines jammed, websites crashing?
So you're repeating your question.
To complete it for you, Governor, we've seen websites crash and also senior citizens waiting overnight for the vaccine.
Where was that at?
We've seen it in Duval, Broward, Orange, and Lee County.
And why was, in Lee, why did that happen? Did you investigate why?
That's my question to you, Governor. You're the governor of the state. I'm not the governor of the state.
Okay, but you didn't investigate why that, in Lee County, why was there a big line? Did you investigate why?
Could you tell us why?
Because we distributed vaccine to hospitals, and the hospital said, first come, first serve. If you show up, we'll do it. So they didn't use a registration system. There wasn't anything that was done, and there's a lot of demand for it. So people are going to want to go ahead and get it. So are you saying there was no plan
then from the state to make sure that senior citizens didn't wait outside overnight?
So the state is not dictating to hospitals we're not dictating to Carlos Magoya how he runs his operations here. That would be a total disaster. These guys are much more competent to be able to deliver healthcare services than a state government could ever be.
Now, that was a pretty interesting exchange between Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and the correspondent. Let me know again what you think in the comment section below. A very tense exchange, a short but tense exchange. Now, let's take a look at another segment featuring CNN's chief medical correspondent, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, and why this was a personal matter to him also. In fact, Sanjay Gupta says that his parents waited all night to get the vaccines. They're in their 70s, just like my mom, actually. And he said there should have been a more coordinated rollout. I want to know from our viewers and subscribers whether you agree with Dr. Sanjay Gupta's assessment or whether you empathize with the Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for his position, which is essentially that, hey, the states can't have a coordinated response. It's up to the hospitals to have a coordinated response, and they can do it better than the states, and it's fundamentally their responsibility. So don't blame me for all of this, and do the investigation yourself. I'm paraphrasing what I believe the Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said. Let's take a look at Sanjay Gupta, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, and see what he had to say. Let's roll the tape.
But let me get your reaction to what we just heard, that exchange that Rosa had with the Florida Governor, Ron DeSantis. It's heartbreaking to see these elderly people just waiting in line, sitting there overnight because they hope they can get a vaccine.
Well, Wolf, I can tell you it strikes very close to home. First of all, what Rosa was asking about is happening. I mean, it's not an exaggeration. And I know this because my parents were 2 of those senior citizens who waited all night in Lee County to get their vaccines. The way it worked for them was that they basically wanted to get the vaccine. They started searching online to try and find where the vaccine might be available. They were told that the local library was going to have a certain number of doses. So they got there at 1:30 in the morning. It was like, camping out for a concert, except that my parents are in their late 70s. It's outside. They're trying to maintain distance. This is, I think that's the frustration. And I think that's the frustration you're hearing from a lot of people. Fantastic that the vaccine is out there, but this is what it's sort of come down to as far as distribution goes in some places, not everywhere, but in some places. And it's as much preparation as there should have been. this should have been a more coordinated rollout in many of these places.
You know, I don't understand, Sanjay, why FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or the National Guard, the military, has not been activated. People are dying. They activate the military and FEMA if there's a hurricane or a tornado. But why aren't they activated right now to get these shots into the arms, especially of the elderly?
I really don't know the answer to this, Wolf, but it's been a note that we've heard many times throughout this pandemic. We're going to do this at the federal level, and then the states sort of have at it. The states that have asked for, in the billions of dollars to create an infrastructure of public health that could handle something like this receive $480 million. So they've been woefully underfunded, and it's been very hard for them to then take a brand new vaccine that requires the kind of cold storage that everyone has heard about by now and be able to distribute it. So it's become a situation where people are sort of trying to fend for themselves. Like, again, my parents just sort of found this vaccine by on their own. There was no unified strategy to try and distribute it to them.
Yeah, this is an awful situation. Sanjay, we'll continue this conversation.
See, that was interesting. Now, as I mentioned at the start of this video, back in August of 2020, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was interviewed. In fact, he was asked some pretty tough questions in an interview that I'm about to show you by CBS Miami. And he was specifically asked about the problem with the unemployment benefit system. And in what I consider to be jaw-dropping comments, the Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said that the unemployment benefit system had many pointless roadblocks to discourage people from applying for benefits and to make it as difficult as possible. Pretty mind-blowing comments from the Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and he was quite forthright in acknowledging those problems. But again, this isn't the first time that we've had a rather interesting exchange on camera with the Florida governor. Let's roll the tape, and I want to know what you folks think.
From the end of fourth week of March through most of April, we were in really dire straits with that system. So I do think we should get the results of the IG, and then if there needs to be some type of suit or some type of accountability, we absolutely need to do it. I mean, my thing is like a lot of these unemployment systems throughout the country, weren't very good, but a lot of them were like 40, 50 years old. Ours wasn't really old. I mean, ours was really 5, 6 years ago, and it should have been done better for that price tag to produce better results.
Do you believe that the system was in part put together the way it was to discourage people from being able to collect unemployment?
I think that was the animating philosophy. I mean, having studied how it was internally constructed, I think the goal was, for whoever designed it, was let's put as many kind of pointless roadblocks along the way so people just say, oh, the hell with it, I'm not going to do that. And for me, let's decide on what the benefit is and let's get it out as efficiently as possible. We shouldn't necessarily do these roadblocks to do it. So we have cleared a lot of those, and I waived a lot of requirements through executive order. But I think going forward, I want all our systems, including unemployment, to be user friendly, and it was not user friendly.
Well, that system was designed and implemented during the Rick Scott administration. Do you think that was Rick Scott's intention, was to discourage people from applying for benefits?
I'm not sure if it was his, but I think definitely in terms of how it was internally constructed, it was definitely done in a way to lead to the least number of claims being paid out.
Now, there was an audit that came out in 2019, I believe, that pointed out many of the flaws. Should you be held responsible for not having acted on that audit and corrected this system?
Well, so that was an audit that was given to the agency head. Nothing ever reached my desk. I was not asked to do anything. I wasn't asked to seek more funding from the legislature. If I was, I probably would have done it. But I looked at that audit, and honestly, that does not answer really the systemic flaws that was evinced with this thing. And so even if those things were done, and they should have been done by the agency, we still would have had the same problems.
That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. In the description section below, you'll find a link to the videos that have been referenced here. I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video right here. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. On this channel, the Ignition Time channel, it's not important whether you're red or blue. For me, it's not about the red or the blue, it's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican, I'm American. We are all Americans first. You'll get different types of information on this channel. You're not going to get the regular kinds of information. You're going to get information that's important to the country, because we do need to understand how the country works. That in turn impacts the economy, and by extension, this impacts our money. On this channel, you'll hear about the country, the economy, and about our money. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. Please get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time, and send that to 70,000. That's 70000. You'll get added to our SMS alerts list moving forward. You can also get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you'll get added to our email list going forward. You can opt out of the SMS list or the email list at any point in time that you want. Stay in touch with us via the SMS list or the email list. You'll get important news and alerts if you're on our SMS list and on our email list. So definitely make sure you stay in touch via SMS or via email. You'll also get information about any programs that we might release in the future. Now, keep in mind that YouTube does not always send out notifications on time. Sometimes YouTube sends out the notifications late. So all I ask you to do is simply go to youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. And then you'll be able to bookmark the homepage of our channel and then visit the homepage of our channel and watch the videos anytime you want. This way you're not dependent on notifications and you're not going to miss a single video, which is important. You can also follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. So please follow us on Instagram. You'll get important information specifically for our Instagram community. Speaking of community, follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. It's the same handle as Instagram. You'll get breaking news and alerts from us on Twitter. One of the incredible things about the growth of our channel has been the growth of our community. I encourage you to comment below. You'll make some new friends. We are a bipartisan, we are an intelligent, we are a respectful, we are a growing community. So engage with our community. You might make some new friends. Also, please share this video with just 2 friends or family members. Just share this video with 2 friends or family members. That would mean a lot to me personally. As always, you'll get a link to all of our resources in the description section below. So make sure you check out our description section. And finally, please ignite the subscribe button. Please ignite the like button. I would really appreciate that, because the name of our channel is Ignition Time. Don't forget to enable notifications so that YouTube does send you reminders when we release content. I'll do anything for a like. If you want, I'll do one of my dances. Now, I guess I'm an average dancer, but seriously, I would really appreciate it if you click the like button. Once again, please subscribe. Please enable notifications. That would mean a lot to me. If you click like, I get into party mode. And it's almost like there's confetti for me everywhere when you click the like button. I would really appreciate that. Guys, let me be completely honest. Just because some of us have started to get the $600 stimulus checks, it does not mean that it's raining money. What it means is, it's a lesson essentially for us that we should never, ever be dependent on the government again. And that is where I will lead you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Thanks. Bye.